Some of the images you are about to see may be too graphic for young viewers and disturbing for others, so caution is advised. A young girl in Gaza crying for her cousins, her uncle, her aunts, all of them killed overnight. Israeli airstrikes slamming Gaza, leaving more than 100 Palestinians dead, including more than 40 children. Dozens of women and children were killed. The attacks shattering a very fragile ceasefire that started earlier this month. The blasts targeting homes, shelters, command sites. Gaza hospitals overwhelmed with the injured as medical supplies run dangerously low. Israeli officials say that they acted after Hamas violated the truce and returned incomplete hostage remains. As both sides blame each other for rising tensions, efforts for peace face a very critical test as the violence threatens to spiral. Joining us live tonight to discuss is NBC News military analyst, former four-star Army General Barry McCaffrey. General, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Yeah, good to be with you, Joyce.
These attacks, as you know, were on homes, on shelters, on hospitals. Can we still call this a ceasefire?
I think so. This is, however, the third flare-up in violence since the 10 October ceasefire went into effect. It's obviously a tragic situation. There is also a bitter civil war going on inside Gaza, where Hamas has come out of the tunnels trying to regain control and is murdering and torturing people from the clans who are trying to escape their clutches. So it's a very bitter situation. The food delivery into Gaza is inadequate. It has started. But I think at the bottom line is the ceasefire is likely to hold and not to turn into full-scale fighting. The Israelis got back all the live hostages. Hamas is now playing games with the remaining, with the remains of hostages they killed inside Gaza. But I think Trump wants this ceasefire to continue, and he will not allow Netanyahu to start up a major campaign. But phase two, where's the international peacekeeping force? Who dreams that we're going to be able to disarm Hamas? So the future is bleak.
And the chaos within Gaza, totally expected. You know, there are some critics who are saying that Palestinians were encouraged to return home only for those neighborhoods to then be bombed later. Is there any credibility at all to that allegation?
I don't think so. I think this is a painful end to a disastrous war. All started a couple of years ago with the murder of 1,200 some odd Israelis and 250 some odd hostages taken. So it's been and the almost total destruction of Gaza, by the way. I think 85% of it's been knocked down. So the question is, can we keep the ceasefire in place? I pray that's the outcome. I think it will be. But the longer term, disarming Hamas, rebuilding Gaza, all remains problematic at best.
Yeah, and you talk about the devastation that we see across Gaza on the ground. I mean, it's just really reduced to rubble. And there's growing outrage about the humanitarian crisis there. How should the United States respond to that desperate need, those images of so many people suffering that we've been seeing?
I don't think on a unilateral basis we're going to have a major role to play inside Gaza. The reconstruction may be a decade long, multiple $30 billion are some of the numbers I've seen. In the short run, I think the international community, primarily the United Nations, is the only trusted agent to deliver humanitarian supplies. And the whole structure has been knocked down. So the sewage system, water, hospitals, schools, all are fundamentally broken. That's going to have to be a UN-delivered commodity. Now, the Egyptians are playing a pretty useful role, and I think the Jordanians and Saudis will also. The money will have to come from the Middle East. I cannot imagine the United States paying the bill long-term for the reconstruction of Gaza.
Which, who knows how long that could take. In your view, what conditions on the ground would need to exist for a sustainable ceasefire both sides could actually uphold?
I actually think the conditions are probably there now. I think the Israelis are sick of fighting. The reservists have been called up for years on end here. They've taken significant casualties. I think Trump is going to strong-arm Netanyahu to not again go in with a full military operation. They're still in there with 53% of Gaza, but I think they want out. The unfortunate part is I think Hamas will win this civil war going on inside Gaza, will reestablish its control, and the Phase 2 international peacekeeping force, I'd be astonished if it appears.
Briefly, if you can, best case scenario, 5 years out, what do you see on the ground in Gaza?
Something better than now. Right now, the number is unproven, but probably illustrative, are 65,000 plus Palestinians killed. The country destroyed. There is no law and order. The clans are fighting a civil war now, trying to push off Hamas. But I think in the longer run, this war is not going to start up again in a major fashion. Both sides have been so bloodied, so exhausted. The will for ceasefire is there.
I certainly hope, along with many, many others, that you are right. General McCaffrey, always a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Good to be with you, Joyce.